Hi everyone, welcome to episode 15 of MotorServe TV, which is now also our podcast on Spotify and all other platforms. Today I'm very excited to introduce Jimi Shabir, who we're very happy to have on today. Jimi is a leading business figure in the Birmingham area, awarded Brummie of the Year for all his business networking achievements. Jimi is the CEO and founder of Bootcamp Media, which is a multi-award-winning digital marketing agency that specialises in marketing projects that cover SEO, social media and PPC advertising. He also provides websites and e-commerce solutions for all of his clients. Jimi's offices span the UK with bases in Birmingham, Exeter and London. Jimi's recent expansion has seen his firm leading the way in AI-powered marketing automation, embracing the power of AI for their clients to streamline workflows, improve performance and drive business growth. Jimi is also the CEO of the Phoenix Business Club, which is a large collaborative business networking venture, and is now also the founder of the Young Leaders Club, where the focus is on developing young talent and leadership opportunities, empowering the next generation with skills and their network to thrive. Jimi is a force in business to be reckoned with and leads by example in his own exploits and endeavours. This podcast will provide a lot of great content, tips and advice for all our listeners, so let's get started. Please welcome Jimi to MotorServe UK. Hi Jimi.
Hey Cam, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for coming along. Bit of a trip across town today?
Just a bit. It's a lot of traffic this time of the day, coming from the city centre to Solihull.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a pleasure to be here, to be fair.
No, thanks very much. And so you're based in the city centre, like directly in the city centre now, aren't you?
Yeah, we moved from the jewellery quarter after lockdown, and so we're right in the heart of the Colmore Business District now.
Fantastic. How's it been for you there?
I love it. It's I love the hustle and bustle of the city centre and being in the centre of everything. It's brilliant. Good fun.
So I did your intro. Don't know if you heard it, because obviously we filmed it. We're in a slightly different setting and location today because of the cold outside, but I did the intro as best as I could. Have I missed anything?
I did have a read of it, and I did wonder who you were talking about. I mean, I was like, this guy sounds really interesting. But yeah, if it's about me, I'm like, yeah, it was a very nice intro. Thank you.
No problem at all. Well, thanks to you for writing it up on LinkedIn and your other websites so well. So managed to pull it all together quite easily.
It wasn't me.
We'll get onto that in a little while about all the AI stuff. But so your main company is Bootcamp Media. Mm-hmm. How did you get into all the website and the SEO? How did you get into digital marketing?
That is a long story, but let's keep it short. I've been in the industry 25 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, I am only 30 years old. Exactly. Yeah, 25 years now, and sort of fell into the web design thing because I love creativity, you know, using, you know, sort of Photoshop back in the day, so I just fell into it nicely, to be fair, and marketing was just an extension of that. So I've been part of that industry for a good long while, bit of a dinosaur, to be fair, if I'm honest, but yeah, and then I started Bootcamp Media about 13 years ago.
Fantastic. So what did you do first? Were you like working for different companies or agencies?
I did a bit of everything before I got into the digital marketing game 25 years ago. I did a lot of sales, retail, hospitality as well. So I sort of went from one job to another, advertising, so I did a bit of everything. But before I started Bootcamp Media, I was working at another agency for 12 odd years, yeah.
Brilliant. So lots
Learned
of experience
everything.
then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So you mentioned to me before privately, but so your route through to kind of the world of work, did you go to university or did you do any courses yourself?
No, so I wanted to go to university, so I was was quite academic at school. I did quite well. And I did have aspirations to go to college and then on to university, as most kids do, to be fair. But personal circumstances at home didn't allow that to happen, which I won't go into. But to be honest with you, the route I did take brought me to where I am right now anyway. So, and I went down the apprenticeship route. So back in those days, it was known as the youth training scheme. And it put me, got me the right mindset, put me into a work environment that I really thrived in. Had a great mentor working in a translation company. And I loved it. But yeah, university wasn't my route, unfortunately. I did later on go into college just because I felt education was quite an important part of what I wanted to get into. So I learned a little bit of coding through Southern City College, web design, met some amazing people through Southern City College back then. And loved it. And then I am here, minus a degree. Yeah.
So how important, because obviously, as you said, a lot of people, push their kids into college, university, and they themselves want to do it. How important do you think it is?
I'm a massive advocate for education, and I think education is very, very key, especially the foundation. But I realise that it's not for everybody. And looking at now what the apprenticeships offer, especially compared to what I was getting back in the day, what you can get apprenticeships in now, engineering, medical, creative in our industries as well. There's a lot more choice now, industry-wise and career-wise. So I think, it's a personal choice. University doesn't have to be the only way, though for many, university is a very, very fulfilling time. But apprenticeships are perfectly a good way to go, and I've seen some very successful people. Look at me. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was getting at, because some people, they say the only way is university, but nowadays
it's a personal choice. Yeah, and I wouldn't deter one person from one or the other choice. But I think personally now, if you make an educated choice, as in you research what's good for you. Certainly for me, our new chair that's been announced for the Young Leaders Council is doing a degree apprenticeship at Arup, and a degree apprenticeship is as good as any other degree. So there are opportunities and options out there for everybody.
Yeah, fantastic. So when you were younger, so you got into all the SEO and all the marketing. Well, you started on websites first, did you say?
That's right. Yeah.
So you started on the websites, and then how did it did you grow with the internet as it was, all the services and everything were coming about?
So when I got into this industry, the internet as we know it today was in its infancy, but the internet's been around for decades before that as well. But the commercial version of the internet, what we know it as today, evolved, and obviously as an individual working in that industry, you evolve as well. So, when I started, there was no Facebook. And in fact, when I started, Google was just starting out itself. So, we've learned, we've adapted, we've evolved, and digital marketing became a thing. And it wasn't really a thing in the beginning, if I'm honest. So web design was you create a website, put it online and hope for the best. But digital marketing was something that I sort of fell into around about 2002, and it has stayed with me ever since.
No, that's it. So, like you said, when you first did websites, you used to have to hope they'd go on this kind of search engines, didn't you, and that people would see it, and it was more self-promotion.
I did not know enough about search engines in the very early days, and certainly it was a dark art then. It's still a dark art now. But Alta Vista, Yahoo were the standard. It shows my age. Were the standards. Bing wasn't even a thing at the time, and Yahoo was probably the biggest search engine before Google. And so you put the website on, and you hope for the best. But obviously, when Google came on the market, they changed how you would market on those platforms, and obviously then paid ads came about, and then social media came out, and the rest is history, as they say. Yeah.
And that just provided, would you say, other avenues of opportunities for you, your clients?
Yeah, look, you know, the creative industry, the digital marketing landscape, it's an ever evolving landscape. There has not been a single year that I've been in this industry that has been boring. It's changed so much, you know, from algorithm changes to platforms like TikTok coming on board. Everything changes, everything. It's like chess pieces moving on a board.
Yeah.
There's never a dull moment. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So.
Have you seen over time, the resistance to the internet from like business owners and from people?
No, it's complete opposite. I think one of the things I was saying very recently, and this is pertinent to AI, is understanding what the problem that you're trying to solve. The solution's always there. The solution was the internet, right?
Yeah.
A website, but what's the problem? What problem are you trying to solve? You know, what do your customers need? What is it that your business needs? And that's something that I've always been very sort of focused on is helping solve problems from the get-go. But certainly from my experience, and I think it's great that there's a constant evolution out there, constant change, which is brilliant. I love it. Keeps you excited.
Yeah, that's it. So when you were working with the agency, like previous to Bootcamp, what made you kind of leave and go out on your own?
You know, that is a deep question for me. I never had aspirations to become an entrepreneur. I'm almost a reluctant entrepreneur. I dabbled in starting a business back in 91, 92, and I got my fingers burnt, and I honestly didn't ever want to go back there because it was a real painful experience. But having worked within an agency for 12 years, I just felt that if I didn't do something for myself now, I mean, this is when I was 39, by the way, that I would never do it. And I'm glad I did. But I get anxious just thinking about it, you know, just that fear. And it is like taking a leap of faith. And it wasn't something that I did very naturally. I mean, now, I'm an entrepreneur. You know, I have lots of different businesses, but that is something that I've learned to like and love. But certainly wasn't, I mean, I tell you, the first 6 months of Bootcamp Media, it was a roller coaster. Yeah. I wouldn't want to repeat that.
Well, you've been there, you've gone over the roller, you've gone through the roller coaster.
Yeah, so, up, down,
sideways.
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome. So, how long have you been doing it? 13 years?
13 years, yeah, my God, yeah. Time flies, I can tell you.
Yeah. And then, so when you first started Bootcamp Media, you're on your own?
No, and so this is another thing, you know, starting a business, I could have been a solopreneur, but then it wouldn't have been a business, it would have been a job. And so very, very deliberately, I started the agency with the view that I was going to have a team behind me. So within the first 6 months, I think I started in May of 2012. So by August of 2012, I had 3 people working in the agency alongside me. And then we grew to, I think over the years, we grew up to 16 people. Yeah.
Fantastic. And what do you specialise in certain market or industry area or anything?
No, and that's a question I get asked all the time. Do you specialise in dentistry? Do you specialise in law? Do you specialise in this area? And the answer is no. We specialise in SEO. We specialise in paid advertising. We specialise in social media. We specialise in creating platforms, e-commerce, and what have you. That's our specialism. We don't specialise in a particular industry. What we do say is we will learn about your industry. So we've worked with, manufacturing, retail, law, finance. So we've got the experience, but we don't need to be an expert in your area. We need to be an expert in what we do. We rely on you to educate us about your business, and that's why it's a collaborative approach. We learn from you, and then we adopt our strategy or adapt our strategy, I should say, to your business. To make it work.
Market around our business and what the consumer behaviour is like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get it. Fantastic. So, with Bootcamp Media, how big is your team now?
So we've actually reduced the size, and we'll touch on that as to why.
Yeah.
But the way my approach has always been, if over the years, if I've had people who leave, and it's very rare that I've actually ever had to get rid of anybody, but as people have evolved into other roles, they've come through to us as an apprentice and or somebody that's a graduate. and they've worked with us for a number of years, and then they've moved on. Usually we'd replace them over the years, but over the last 3 years, what's happened is whenever somebody leaves, we've sort of absorbed their work into the rest of the team. But then there are tools out there that have allowed us to become more productive. So we've not had to, so though we've got more clients, we've not had to take on more people. We've been able to sort of become a bit more streamlined and more productive because the opportunities and tools are out there.
Yeah, definitely. Because what's the next kind of era in the business? Is it all around AI?
Well, yeah, it's the big new shiny thing, isn't it now? And it's not something that anyone could ignore. And I think having had conversations with people, there's a lot of excitement around it. There's also a lot of fear around AI as well. And I think it's just about understanding what it can do. And there are limitations, by the way. And I wish people would start to understand that it can't do everything yet. And it's constantly evolving, constantly changing. And what it was a year ago to what it is now, it's just like it's a big difference. And so in 3 months' time, it'll continue, there's more to come. I mean, the next thing that people are talking about is agentic AI. And that's a whole new subject in itself.
What's that then?
Agentic AI is, well, there's a lot of people talking about automation right now. Agentic is something that sits on its own, learns from knowledge bases, and can act on its own. So basically, it's an extension of your team, an employee that works for you, but autonomously.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Any of this scare you?
No, it excites me. In fact, it's I was saying recently to somebody that I've not been this excited, and this is the third time now. When I first got into digital marketing, when I first started Bootcamp Media, and now. Really? So, for me, I'm so super excited about what the opportunities are out there. And, we've got a number of projects we're working on right now, which we're looking to launch very soon, actually, which will have a very AI-centric approach to it. Yeah.
Brilliant. So you're leading the way with it? Brilliant.
I wouldn't say we're leading the way. What I would say is we understand that this is the way, and we're taking it. Yeah.
To be honest,
there's a lot of great leaders out there in AI. And,
because to be honest, from what I've seen, from the discussions that we've had, you seem to be a lot further advanced than a lot of companies out there.
Some, not all, but I mean, I think I was demoing you a voice agent, wasn't I, earlier on? And how lifelike is that?
It's scarily lifelike, which is good. As you say, it's going to help reduce costs.
It's not about just reducing costs, it's also about making you more productive and allowing you more time to do the things you want to do as well. So it helps your team to focus on helping your customers. And in this particular case, what I was demoing you is it allows this AI to take calls for you while your team is looking after your clients, which is what you want. Yeah,
the customer's already in. Yeah, fantastic. So with the AI kind of evolution, do you think, because you're about to go through a rebrand, aren't you? So you changed your name. Is that right?
That was a big step for me, and I've been thinking about a rebrand for some time. So we turned 10 back in 2022, and the way we celebrated was by sponsoring and headlining the Birmingham Awards. And just wanted to make a big sort of shout about it's a 10-year milestone. But also at that time, AI was starting to become this sort of real monster, and I realized that, and like when I first started out in the industry and then obviously starting Bootcamp Media, this was that sort of a time of change. But I didn't want to lose Bootcamp Media itself, so BCM is not something I wanted to lose. So Bootcamp Media will still be there. It's just going to be our operating arm of the business. And for 2 whole years, I've been trying to come up with a name that actually meant something that could translate to what we're becoming, but also have some connection to what Bootcamp Media was before as well. So BCM is still going to be there. So Blend Creative Minds comes from that sort of initials as well. But you can imagine how difficult it is to come up with a new name which keeps that sort of connection to your existing brand. So I'm glad. I think we've done a pretty good job of it. The feedback has been really good, and the new logo seems to have gone down really well. too. So
brilliant. So is that out now? So is that your new name? Or is it
no, so we've already let out what the brand is, and
Yeah.
I'm talking about it a lot more now on social media. But we'll be launching a new website soon, and it'll be sitting alongside the Bootcamp Media brand, which there's no point getting rid of it completely. But the AI side of the business will become the bigger part of it, or, you know, over the long term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all the stuff that's happening, it's bound to, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So, with you mentioned the Birmingham Awards. When I first kind of, I knew you for a while, but we weren't particularly, I didn't know you that well. But all we saw was you're sponsoring this, you're sponsoring that, you're sponsoring
Yeah, because
this.
you were winning all the bloody awards, that's why.
Yeah, it's true. At that time, yeah, that was good.
So who's going to win? Cameron Salim, Businessman of the Year. Like it's like we can call it now. I thought about starting to take bets.
Brilliant. But no, so with the sponsorships and everything that you do, can you kind of measure what that's done for your business? Does that help?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's never going to be pounds and pences to what you do. I mean, sponsorship is just one of the many things we've done, to build the brand up. But the purpose behind it was to get it in front of people, so that our market can start to build a relationship with it outside of a known relationship, right? So, one thing I will tell you, the number of awards we've sponsored, which are innumerable, right? I've had phone calls from people saying, "Oh, we saw this post, you were here giving this award out, and we thought about using you for our marketing, blah, blah, blah." So yeah, it does equal to business, but it doesn't have to. But what it also does, it creates that trusted brand. So that was very important for us. So it was never about, we'll advertise and we want someone to call us on Monday to book, a marketing meeting. No, it was never going to be about that. What it was is about building that brand trust as well. So it's definitely done that for me.
Fantastic. And you've done a lot of it,
Yes, too much sometimes apparently people tell me, but I think I took a measured approach to it, to be honest with you.
I don't think you can do too much. Definitely not. True. So you mentioned before that you've got numerous businesses and like you're now multiple business owner. What other stuff are you into at the moment?
So there's a few businesses which luckily I don't have to be in them to run. So one of them happens to be a service department, so like an Airbnb, cool. But that's run by my business partner, and he does a fantastic job, has built a fantastic brand around that too. Then obviously Phoenix Business Club, which is one of the largest networking clubs in the West Midlands. So, and that, is fantastic from what it was and what it is now. It's a whole new beast in itself. And then obviously, though the Young Leaders Club is not a business, it's a CIC and it's a non-profit. Again, I treat it like a business because it's about building a brand. It's about championing young people. So it's about building a community around it. And I've taken the same approach as I would with a business. So it's all about creating relationships.
But you mentioned Phoenix Business Club. I was going to get onto that. So where is that based? What do you kind of do?
So primarily it was a Birmingham-based network club. It was a lunch club. Had been running for quite some time. It is now 6 different events. So we have, in Birmingham, we have the breakfast club, we have the lunch club, and we have the ladies' lunch club too. And then we now have the Warwick Club, and then we have the Black Country Club. And we will be launching into other areas in the West Midlands, and that will be that done. And then we've got aspirations to move into East Midlands and then further south. Yeah, that's the ambition anyway.
Do you have to go to all of them?
No, it becomes a bit impossible. I do try to be to as many as I can, and I'll give you an example. Last year, I was away on holiday, and I didn't get to go to 2 of the events, and one of them happened to be at a really nice location, and I got massive FOMO. But no, the answer is no, you don't have to be at every single one. I certainly don't have to be, and I encourage our members to come as often as they can, but it's not practical to be at every event, But that's the best thing about networking, you dip in and dip out.
Yeah, exactly. So you mentioned the word members. Do you have to pay to be part of it, or just pay as you go?
I say members because it's a community at the end of the day.
I bet you've got like people now that
Yeah.
come to all of them.
We get new people
Yeah.
coming in every single month, and that's brilliant. And that's the power of the network itself. That you got new people being attracted to the Phoenix Business Club itself. But no, it's not a paid membership. It's free of charge, and it's pay as you go. So you dip in and dip out. There are plans to evolve it further, but watch this space.
Yeah, brilliant. But it's gone so well so far. So
Yeah. And again,
yeah,
we try and do things differently to what the networks do, and there's some fantastic networks out there. But if you all become samey, there's no value in it at all. So we try and have a different approach to the Phoenix Business Club compared to somebody else.
So as a young kind of as you're moving through work and as you're going through, did you have like a role model, a mentor, an advisor?
Yeah, as you grow, I mentioned that when I started my youth training scheme apprenticeship, I had a mentor at work. Yeah. His name was Peter Simpson, an amazing manager. Really nurtured me, looked after me, made sure that I was on the right track. Yeah. So he was somebody I considered a mentor. My uncles, one of them worked in banking and finance. So, he was a great mentor. Really well dressed, by the way, as well. Sharp guy. So I take after him when it comes to getting dressed and stuff. Another one of my uncles who is insanely sort of successful in the property market. He was somebody else I looked up to and gained a lot of knowledge from. Learned a lot of lessons from as well. So yeah, I think if you go through life without a mentor, I think you're kidding yourself.
Yeah. Just bumbling along, basically.
Yeah, and nobody wants to bum. Nobody's bumming it along, but nobody wants to bum it along either. Yeah,
that's it. No, brilliant. So you say it's a big factor for your kind of success in your path.
Yeah. And even now, at the ripe old age of, I have a mentor. I have people I talk to. I go to for advice because you can't know everything, and you always need a sounding board. And I think mentors is very important, and I think somebody like myself will continue to use mentors while I'm in business.
Yeah, that's really good. So, you're Brummie of the Year. It was a couple of years ago now, wasn't it? It was 23, was it?
Yeah, 23. Yeah, so a little over a year ago actually now. Yeah.
I think that was at the Birmingham Awards, wasn't it? So it was at his event. Yeah.
I was shocked as everybody else, if I'm honest. Yeah.
Were you
really
really
just they're calling up on stage?
But you are everywhere. Yeah, we see you at every event. We see you kind of
It's a bad habit of mine.
Room. Yeah, no, but it's brilliant. But everyone knows Jimmy, so and then I think that was a good kind of award for you.
Honestly,
very well justified.
I was lost for words that day, that night.
First time.
Genuinely, right. I remember now, looking back, I'd taken my jacket off. I think
you were winding down.
I was winding down for the evening, right? So I was thinking, right, okay. So I was having a chit chat, while the awards were going on, so I was one of those ones who talked, right? And then, they'd called out a couple of the awards, and, obviously you turn around and you clap and what have you, and think, wow, that's fantastic, because you want to cheer people along, right? And then suddenly they're starting to talk about this guy, and, they mentioned Southern City College, and then they mentioned, I think they might have mentioned digital marketing, and I'm like, sounds familiar, right, yeah? And then they're like, oh my God, they're talking about, nah, they can't be. And I remember looking over to Matt Jones, who sat right behind me, and he's looking at me and goes, like, and I actually welled up, which is why when I went on stage, I was lost for words. I didn't know what to say, other than thank you, but what words I was lost for, I'm no longer lost for. I mean, it's a massive honour to be, named Brummie of the Year, and the people that came before me that have been named Brummie of the Year, they're huge icons in Birmingham, and I couldn't be more proud and so thankful for the opportunity to be on stage and to be celebrated as Brummie of the Year, and I will honour that accolade till the day I die. Yeah.
Awesome. So, family-wise,
yes.
As you've kind of gone through the life's journey, so when did you kind of get married? Like, when did kind of family life start for you?
Family life. So I got married post 30. So I think I was 31.
Yeah.
So I got married, typical Asian, quite late, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, 31, been married for 20 odd years now, yeah.
Brilliant. And how much is your wife involved in your business? Or
No.
She got her own stuff going on?
Yeah, so, you know, she takes care of the kids.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, but I mean, she's an insanely dedicated person. You know, she's a very family orientated person as well. So that's a happy space.
Have you found that having that attribute, having that skill set, your wife doing that, has freed you up and has led you to success?
Yeah. I mean, look, you know, I've got a young family. I've got a daughter and a son. You know, you cannot operate in a business. I mean, you can have a job, fair enough. You know, you can clock off at whatever time people clock off at, go home and switch off. Yeah. But as a business person, you're switched on 24/7. You know, and you'll notice as well as anybody else who's in business. So having somebody who can take care of business at home means you can take care of business at work. So
being a hunter-gatherer.
Hunter-gatherer, yeah. I mean, listen, there's some, a man does not have to be the only hunter-gatherer. There are some amazing female entrepreneurs out there that do exactly the same. Yeah. But, I'm just blessed to be able to go on this journey as an entrepreneur. A reluctant entrepreneur, I would just say, but I have enjoyed the journey.
Does she push you?
I think my daughter and my son push me more now, to be fair. Okay. I mean, my kids are more interested in my business than I realized they would be. And so, I do take a lot of stick from them.
Stick, that's my word. Awesome. So that was kind of leading into my next question. How old are your kids now?
My daughter's 17 and my son is 15, going into his GCSE year now.
Okay, so this is the moulding part. But it's a moulding part. This is where they're going to start taking their direction. Yeah. So would you encourage them to join your business and go? I mean, look, the business is there. It's an opportunity, and it would be foolish of me not to offer it to them. But it's their life at the end of the day. It's their choice of what they want to do. But what I've found with my son and my daughter is that they both have an interest in what I do. So Sophia is actually working in the business right now as an apprentice. That's a choice she's made. And so she works on the social media and marketing side of the business. And she's done a fantastic job. It's like duck to water. My son is so switched on by AI. Over the school holidays last year, he was working in the business creating AI bots, basically. Wow. Yeah. So. I suppose your business is it's very modern, it's very advanced, and it's very hip. So
I like to think so. I'm a hip kind of guy.
But so the kids, they're automatically magnetic towards it.
Yeah, my take on it was that if they weren't going to be interested, and they wanted to become, an accountant, a doctor, a lawyer, whatever they wanted to be, I would 100% support that. Which father wouldn't? Yeah. But equally, because they're interested in this, I've got to support that decision. Yeah. So
works out well.
Just for me. I could retire sooner, if I'm honest.
Awesome.
I can focus on other stuff that I enjoy.
Yeah. So this question might not be that applicable for you because you run such a modern and hip business and you're such a good industry. But have you found it lately in the economy right now to recruit and retain people?
I think it's a very challenging landscape right now. Certainly not been an issue for my business in recruiting because I've taken a very different approach to it altogether. Okay. But certainly in our industry, it's a difficult time recruiting. But I don't think there's many agencies recruiting right now either, because I think the old agency model, and I say this over and over again, if you fail to adapt, you will fail in business. And there's a lot of agencies now going to the wall because of that. But also at the same time, you've got this sort of pressures, economic pressures that are causing businesses to fail. And obviously I'm focusing on digital agencies, but it's that truth is across other industries right now as well. So there's a lot of businesses suffering right now, and that means there are individuals who are losing jobs and opportunities right now, and so everybody is feeling that sort of squeeze right now.
What are your thoughts on the current government and their approach to the economy?
It's quite a controversial question there, Cam. I don't know whether I should answer it. What I will say, and I'll keep it very brief, I think they need to revisit some of the choices they've made. And I think what they failed to understand is the previous government, the previous two prime ministers even, have made some fundamental mistakes, and I think where it's one mistake after another, and I think this government needs to take a very fresh and different approach, and I think that's what's needed. Whether they will or not, time will tell.
Exactly. Hopefully they don't take
that's
too
the
long
politest
about
way
it.
I can say it.
Hopefully they won't take too long about it as well.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
We can't wait for a solution. We've got to create solutions.
Yeah, that's true. So when you were like younger, like within your family kind of environment, you mentioned like your uncles and like your role models and things. Did you always deep down know you were going to end up in business, or
no?
You literally had no.
It was the furthest thing from my mind, and I remember I thought I was going to be working in banking. You know,
really?
Yeah, because I wanted to be like my uncle. You know, God rest his soul. He was my biggest sort of champion, and he was you know, that mentor that, you know, sort of I looked up to. I mean, like I said, I had two uncles I was looking up to, but this particular one was a very strong sort of influence on my life, and you know, good or bad, whatever I did, he advised me, you know. So he was like a second father to me. So I always thought I'd go into I thought I'd leave school, I'd go into college, I'd go to university, and I'd probably start working in a bank. And very briefly, in my first apprenticeship, I actually did work in a bank. So I was working at the Midland Bank, HSBC. Yeah. But that was very brief, and for all sorts of reasons, it wasn't right for me, and I moved into a translation company. But yeah, certainly from my side, you know, being an entrepreneur was the furthest thing from my mind. And when I did go down that route, when I was made redundant at a very early age, I did it, and it was exciting, but it was painful and stressful at the same time. And so I can tell you right now, it put me off from wanting to go into business for a good 20 odd years. Wow. I ran away from the idea of starting my own business several times. Yeah. So I could have done it in 2008, then 2010. Then my father passed away in 2011. And I think that was the catalyst for me to start my business, which is like, you know, life is very precious, and it's also, you're not here forever. So if you don't take chances, then that's it, you know, your life just withers away. So I took a chance, but I reluctantly took a chance. Yeah.
Amazing. So for viewers and listeners out there that are, you know, stuck in a rut or not doing anything yet, if you could be their catalyst, what would you say to them?
Life's too short. Take a chance. What you got to lose? Take a chance. What's the worst that can happen to you?
Exactly.
Listen, I'd say the younger you are, the more opportunities you have, right? Yeah. And I think this is the one thing I say as a mentor to most people that I mentor. Make your mistakes, make as many as you can, but learn from those mistakes. And I think it's a cliche, I know, and many people have said the same thing. But genuinely, the one thing you can do is learn. And if you do learn, guess what happens? The next time that problem comes along, you know how to maneuver around it. But as you get older, you can't make as many mistakes because it becomes more painful. But absolutely do take a chance, no matter what age. Look, I decided to take a chance again at the age of 39, and I'm glad I did. So go for it.
Do you wish you'd done it earlier?
Oh God, looking back now, you know, I'm glad I did it at 39. But looking back now, I thought, you know, maybe I should have done it in 2008. Maybe I should have done it in 2010. And had I did it then, you know, it would have been like, I should have done it in 2006. Yeah, 2004. Anything, you know. Yeah. But I did it. That's the point.
Do you think, though, you know, with your life experiences, with all your, like, where you've got to now in your business and the success that you've had, do you think that if you had started earlier, you might not have had the experience or the skill set to do it?
Yeah. And so, like I say, you know, some of it's down to fate, some of it's down to opportunity, and some of it's down to luck. Yeah. So everything's happened at the right time for me. That's all I can say. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, you're right. You know, without experience, you can't make some of the decisions. Yeah. Yeah. As well. Yeah. Yeah. Excellent.
So, from your perspective, from what you've learned over the years, what would you say would be the kind of the good characteristics of a business person? What should they have?
That's a broad question. That's a very broad question. What's the good characteristic? You've got to have a level head. Yeah. You know, I think I touched on this very early on.
Yeah.
The first 6 months of starting Bootcamp Media was insanely stressful. The anxiety levels, I mean, I can feel it right now inside of me. You need to be able to keep your wits about you, and that's really important. So, yeah, so keep it together. That's if I have to give you one bit of advice, is keep it together.
Yeah, it's so true though, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's so much going on.
Yeah,
You don't realise. And I think, again, you touched on it before, it's a 24/7 thing.
Believe in the process at the end of the day. One thing I realised when I started the business was I knew what I knew, in digital marketing and SEO, web design. I knew I had a plan, but I also realised that what I was doing in the agency, what I was working in it, things had to be different to that as well. So innovation is very important. So making sure that, you do things which are disruptive. And I could talk to you all day about the kind of things we did differently. For instance, we ensured that any client we worked with for marketing, we did their website for free, right? Because they were committing to us for a period of time. So they were making a huge financial investment. So our investment to them was that we would do things for them that nobody else would do, So we would do that. We would also make sure that we were available to them if there was a problem either on their website or they had any technical issues as well. And we were very approachable. So again, something very different to what was happening in the previous agency. So it's just having a different approach and understanding that you are different to your competitors out there and believing in you and your team. Yeah.
So you have to you had your unique set of USPs around you.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And obviously it's put you in a very good path and it's led to where you've got
do
to
good,
today.
be good and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Excellent. So you're here today and we have to talk about cars because you are so far from our guests. You've adopted an electric vehicle.
Yes.
And you've got one and it's yours and it's full time and you haven't backed out of it or changed back.
I love electric, to be fair. I mean, I had a gas guzzler before this.
Yeah.
And
what has been your journey? What kind of cars have you had as you've come progressed?
I'm the least car savvy person you can imagine, right? I don't drive fast, though, but what have I had? My first car was a Volvo, very sensible car. And I didn't actually learn to drive until I was 28.
Really?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. What did you do before that? Catch rides with friends. Yeah.
I was a lazy one. I was like, my friend will pick me up. I think I came up with every excuse under the sun not to drive. But
wow.
Yeah, so I learned and passed my driving test at the age of 28. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So my first car was a Volvo. And then I think I must have had an Escort and a Renault. I've had a Passat. By the way, the Passat's like a solid tank, right? Never ever went wrong.
For it, yeah.
I had a TT at one point. I mean, when the family came about, when the kids came about, I had to give the TT up and go into a family car. Passat, But as the kids grew and I didn't need a family car anymore, I treated myself to a nice. I think I first got a coupe, a Mercedes coupe, which I really loved. Right, and then I thought, right, I've always dreamt about having a really nice car, and so treated myself.
So the Porsche came in.
Yes.
Yeah. Because before this one, you had the Panamera, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you have more before that, or?
I had a Macan before that.
Okay.
And I had a Panamera before that. And then I went back to the Panamera, which I absolutely loved, by the way. And there's a lot about that car you can love, but then the opportunity to drive an electric came about, and the Taycan was just sort of, I was salivating, let's put it that way. So I got into a Taycan, and I haven't looked back. I really, really love that car. It's a cool car to drive, and it's good to the environment. So, tick tick.
Well, good to the environment while you're driving it.
Absolutely, yeah.
The manufacturing and.
Please listen. I don't control manufacturing. As long as I'm not, adding to the environment. You kill me there. Can we cut there now? But listen. I think unless you've driven an electric car, I know there's a lot of naysayers about electric cars out there as well. They wouldn't drive one. But when you get into an electric car, and especially something like a Taycan, I dare you not to be impressed. Yeah.
Do you think it's because of your driving style and like your kind of lifestyle, because you're based around Birmingham predominantly, and because you do go out of city, don't you, quite a lot? Do you ever have any issue charging public stations?
No.
I mean, you charge at home mainly? Or?
I do charge at home mainly. That's just purely for convenience and cost as well, because it's stupidly cheap. But you know, these cars are really clever, and they have routing built into them. So if you're going to London, it'll know what level of charge you got right now, and it'll route you along the way to stop to charge. So yeah, it's not as stressful as I thought it would be. So
have you encountered any like large queues or big wait times?
No.
No, really?
No. But then maybe I don't travel out at times when it is insanely busy as well. So yeah.
So it suits your lifestyle perfectly then.
Perfect.
Yeah, awesome. You can see why you stick to electric if that's the case.
It's a nice car.
Yeah, and it's a lovely car, of course. Yeah, that's it.
Wasn't my first choice of colour, if I'm honest. Apparently, it's a midlife crisis colour. So I'm like, okay, fine.
You said it. No, it's cool. I think a lot of people, because he's talking about naysayers, I'm one.
Yeah, I know you like your petrol. You like the grunt of the car,
Petrols
don't
and
you?
diesels. Yeah, that's it. But it's range anxiety.
Yeah, look, you know, I think it's a valid point.
Yeah.
But until you start driving one and then start to realise that actually,
it's fine.
Most of the journeys you do are very local anyway.
Yeah,
you know, and if you're going to London and back the same day, there's enough charging points. You know, between here and London, you know, one on the motorway, and in London is probably one of those most insane cities where there's a charging point everywhere. You know, so you won't be without a charge. That's for sure.
Yeah. So. Okay. Do you think it's a fear of change mainly in the market and what people are used to?
How do you mean, sorry?
Like people are resisting it, or they're being naysayers about it just because I mean, resistance to change.
Not that we can go into, because this is the podcast will go into
in
another
itself,
whole, but the reason that the cost of electric cars has gone down is because people aren't ready to adopt or adapt to electric cars. And that's why electric cars are stupidly cheap right now, you know. So maybe this is the time to get into an electric car, you know. But I think there's this anxiety around range is definitely one of those things. But look, there are new cars now, like the new Macan, for instance. It does over 350-mile range. But there are other vehicles which do over 600 miles range in electric. So I think that's sort of it's academic at the end of the day. It's what car you want to drive. I want to drive this car. This car's range is 260 miles, right? But then I'm not going to do 300-mile journeys in a day, you know. And if I'm going to do that, I'll plan my route very carefully. Yeah. I'll charge the car first, though.
Have you got 2 electric cars in your household, or is it?
No, the other one's a gas guzzler. Yeah.
So you've got the alternative still at the moment. Yeah.
I don't drive the alternative though.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Okay, stick with the electric. Awesome. So what's your next car?
I have my eye on a car, and I drive. I'll keep it to myself. And
same brand?
Do you know? So there's a couple of car options out there. I might be going backwards to go forwards. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because.
Watch this space then.
Yeah, watch this space. Yeah.
On your next podcast visit, we'll have that on.
Yeah. Well, that's it. The next podcast, you can ask me about the next car. Yeah.
Well, hopefully you'll have it.
I'm sure. Well, this will be going back within the next year anyway. So.
Okay. Yeah. So have to plan it for then.
Absolutely.
So talking about going back to your other projects, have you got anything on apart from your rebrand, which is obviously quite big news? Have you got anything else that's kind of going on, or are you about to launch?
I have. I can give you a little bit of an insight. I can't go into too much detail because I'm going to have a launch around 2 of the products that we're launching, or 3. Actually, it's 3. It's not 2. 2 of them are related because it's around networking and what have you as well. And it's around creating a community online, and it's about creating better communication and opportunities. And there will be AI obviously built into it, so it'll be baked into the solution itself, of course. And there's another solution which is a tech platform, again very AI centric, but hopefully very disruptive as well. So I'm looking forward to launching that, and that particular product will be evolving over the next year, and it's going to be happening at a breakneck speed, because the way AI is moving right now, what we're doing today will be completely out of date by the end of this year. And so we will make sure that it's adaptable and it's agile as well. So we're going to make sure that any new toys and whistles, which are useful, by the way, so not just for the sake of using it, but useful for the end user, is going to be adapted into the project as well. So watch this space.
Yeah, sounds intense.
It is. I love it.
Do you guys just brainstorm ideas and I think, where can we adapt
Yeah,
AI to?
like I said to you, there are 3 times in my life, in this industry especially, that I've been excited, and this is that next time now. I mean, AI and what people are doing with AI is disrupting industries right now, and I'm loving it. And so, we have some insane conversations in the office where we brainstorm. And honestly, like some of the projects we've got on board right now are just absolutely bonkers. Swear to God, yeah. So some of the stuff that's going to be coming out and that we will be launching, it's just freaking insane, Wow. So everything is possible now, Yeah. So and within reason, if I'm honest, though. But yeah, I'm super excited.
Awesome. Look forward to seeing all your new projects and everything kind of going. So you've seen it here first, so watch this space.
Watch this space.
Yeah, watch
absolutely,
this space. Yeah, excellent. That wraps it up, I think, quite nicely.
Does it? I was really enjoying it. I was just getting to the flow of it.
So no, it's been absolutely fantastic. I think we could sit here all day.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. Thank you for your time as well. Yeah, thank you for inviting me down.
No, thank you very much.
I really enjoyed it. Thanks.
Cheers.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I certainly did. Thank you, Cameron, for having me here today. Guys, if you like it, subscribe and follow MotorServe TV.
Thanks for watching today's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do like content like this, please watch this space. Please do like, subscribe and follow and share with all your friends.